Now that we've made videos for our PS2 collection and our PS3 collection, it is time to go over our PS4 collection. This is a collection that we have been focusing on much of this last year, as well as our PS3 collection, but this one has grown quite a bit. So let's dive in.
I've really been looking forward to doing this video with you because it has to be said, I spent the majority of my time gaming on the Xbox One during this gen. But from time to time, I would pick up a PS4 game. I didn't play a whole lot on the console, but I was always intrigued by the exclusives because, to be fair, they had way better exclusives than the Xbox One did. So I think today we'll be seeing some interesting titles and not a whole lot of filler, I would say.
Yep, we definitely try to stay away from the filler and just focus on the exclusive or the series that we love collecting for, or sometimes even the developers that we love collecting for. We like to do our games in alphabetical order. Makes it a little easier, especially for these videos. However, this one starts with .hack. And this game, who knows where to put this? Some people might put this at the H mark, but it does start with dot. So we put it in the beginning of our collection.
Yep.
So this is a trilogy, or I think it's like volume 1 through 3 plus 4. These were originally on the PS2. They're a very popular game, and this just puts them all together into one game. I haven't played these ones, but I did watch a friend play them. Next up is 13 Sentinels. What is it? Aegis Rim? Aegis Rim? Yeah, Aegis Rim. I don't know much about this one, but it is Atlas is who published this game, and we love to collect the Atlas games. Next, Atelier Marie. This is a remake. This one I'm rather excited about because it was only released in Japan on the PS1, and we never got a version of this game until now in the US. And this is a little bit more of a relaxed Atelier game, so very cool. Plus, we like to collect as many of the Atelier games as we can, so we also have this one, Atelier Lydie and Suelle. And we have Atelier Riza or Riza. This one must have been pretty popular because it actually got a trilogy. And we do have the second one as well on the PS4. And I believe the third one, though, we might actually have on the Switch. Next is Birthdays, The Beginning. This is a pretty weird game, but it's published by Nippon Ichi. We love collecting for Nippon Ichi, so we have to have it. Also, we actually have the collector's edition of this game, so it comes with like a little plushie and a soundtrack.
Of course, we had to have Bloodborne, everyone's, or seemingly everyone's favorite game, exclusive. And I haven't really played a lot of the Souls games, but this is supposedly one of the best ones, and I'm looking forward to playing it.
Next up is a game that we both know pretty well, Borderlands.
You told me you can't have enough Borderlands, and I said you can actually have enough Borderlands.
Well, this is the Handsome Collection.
Yep.
And apparently, I think I bought this before we started playing on the Xbox, and so it's still shrink wrapped because we ended up actually going with
it's
the
still
Xbox.
good. The Borderlands 2 is good. Pre-sequel is not that great.
As good.
No.
Yeah. In our opinion. Next is Bubble Bobble for Friends. I believe you got this for me last Christmas because I love Bubble Bobble back on the NES, and any type of Bubble Bobble game that we can get, I go for it. I mean, we have some versions on the PSP and, any kind of remake versions.
And of course, the original on the NES
is the best, but this one actually even has some new graphics, and it was pretty cool. It was a little bit cooler than I thought it was going to be, and still has co-op in it. Here is Cat Quest. I got this when it first came out, and I had no idea this was going to turn into a trilogy when this first came out. I'm pretty surprised it's become as popular as it is, but they're very cute and fun little games. Also, it's another co-op title, so it's one that I played with our son. I love the Catherine series, and however, this launch edition did not come out onto the Xbox. And so this is, I don't want to say it's a steel book because it's actually more of a steel case. And the reason we still have it in the sleeve is because it doesn't have the title on the spine. So we keep it in the sleeve so that at least we can see what this game is when it's in our collection. But love the Catherine games. Celeste is a recent addition to our collection. Fan Gamer put this one out, and this is a great game. Played this one all the way through, got all the achievements for it on the Xbox, and thrilled to have the physical for it.
You've been telling me for the longest time to try this game, so...
Don't even remind me. You should. You need to play this one.
Yeah.
I think you will really like it, too.
Yep, I agree. I like platformers, so why not?
Yeah, it can be quite challenging, but a lot of fun. I don't know much about this game. Claydoon returns. This is Sengoku, but it's published by Nippon Ichi, and I believe this game was like $5 at a brick and mortar store. And so I just said, okay, sure, let's get it. I want to say the other Claydoon games are on like the PSP or the PS Vita. I have seen them before, but this is the only one that we have. This is Coffee Talk and the physical version. So this one recently did get physicals in the US, and you can get Coffee Talk 1 and 2 now physically. However, back when I got this version, there was no physical versions. And so this is a Japanese version or international version. However, you can play it on your PS4, and you can choose English as well. So it has that option, and that's why I wanted to own it, because I love the Coffee Talk series and I wanted to have a physical for it. So got it like this, but also you can pick these up now much cheaper than this version.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very chill games, right? You know, it's kind of like a bedtime game. You know, put it on right before bed and you'll sleep well.
Yes.
Although it's Coffee Talk.
Super chill music. This is another one I don't know a lot about, but it was super cheap, and I love collecting the Harvest Moon games. I do like a lot of the Natsume games, so that's why we got this one. It's Connect Tank. And funny enough, when I got this one from Natsume, they also sent like the little pre-order magnet thing. I don't know where to put it. It's not going on our fridge quite yet. So I just kind of stuck it to the back of the case in case we ever want to use it. We don't want to lose it. Another recent addition, but a game we both love.
Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure.
And so we wanted to get this one in our collection because it's a game that we both love so much and wanted to have the physical version. And I believe it only came out on the PS4 physically.
I think it did, yeah. And I'm glad we got it. This was a limited run release, but we got it from eBay, I think, recently, like you said. And yeah, around Halloween, we're like, we have to have this in our collection because I played them on Xbox and so did you. So we're like, let's get the physical.
Yeah, definitely, because one of our favorites.
This is one of the few that I started kind of looking at a couple of years ago for the exclusives. Started getting a lot of good Black Friday deals. So I picked up Days Gone exclusive. So it's like an open world zombie game. I have not played it, but I think people generally like this game. So that is a good one to have for sure. Another one that is, I've heard this is either love it or hate it for Death Stranding. Of course, another exclusive that I have not played yet, but I'm sort of looking forward to it. I'm not quite sure yet. So I like the stealth, but I'm not sure about in general, the controls in the game. They look a little bit weird. But yeah, it's destined to be a strange experience, I'm sure.
Well, it is Kojima, and he likes to push those boundaries, so we'll have to check it out. Okay, this is Deception 4, The Nightmare Princess. I love this series. This is the Dark Deception game. They have been going since the PS1. And I didn't even know this one was out until several years, or I guess a couple of years later after it came out. And I was pretty excited. So we got this one for the PS4.
And here's Detroit Become Human, another exclusive for the PlayStation 4. We have bought a couple of Quantic Dream. I think we have all of them now. This was another one I picked up on a great Black Friday sale a couple of years ago, but I still have yet to play it.
Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls. This is one that I actually got to play with our son. He loved this one. This was a funny co-op game, and when he was I would say pretty young though still, but this was a really fun one. Of course, I was holding up the troop in this one with my healing powers probably, and I believe he was some kind of crazy voodoo guy. Very risky in battle, so lots of healing, but it was fun.
What ends up happening, you're the mage in the back
Yes.
healing, and he's like close combat.
Yes, all the way. Yep. But he had so much fun, and I don't know, the Diablo series kind of has a warm spot in my heart due to that. Disgaea 1 complete. If you've watched some of the other videos, you may have figured out that I love Disgaea series, so gotta have this one, Nipponichi title, and I don't actually know, I haven't played this one yet, and I don't know if this one is a original story using the original characters from the first game, or whether it's a retelling of the first game story, so that tells me I need to play it. But I'm a little bit behind, and actually I've been playing this one lately. I've been playing Disgaea 5, and I'm having a great time with this one. So yeah, it's been a ton of fun, and just like all the other Disgaea games, I love them. Dragon Quest Heroes. This is a funny one because I actually got this one to play with our son. I thought it would naturally have some kind of co-op because it's more like a Dynasty Warriors hack and slash game. However, it has no co-op, and I know I could have looked that up before buying it, but like I said, I assumed, and I assumed wrong. So, didn't actually get a whole lot of playtime with this one, but I do love the Dragon Quest series, and so it's still fun to have in the collection. Dreams, I believe this is another one we got for our son because he loves making, he was going through this whole phase with Mario Maker and any kind of like create his own games and levels and stuff. And this is by the creators of Little Big Planet. This is a really cool, unique game. So glad to have this one in the collection.
I think he did like it though. It was kind of like you said, the Mario Maker Minecraft phase, and then he did like this one, but I don't know if he's played it.
Steeper learning curve on this one, I think. But once he got past that tutorial and the learning curve, I think yes, then he really started to enjoy it. Can't have enough Elder Scrolls either.
You can definitely have enough Elder Scrolls Skyrim. But I don't think Bethesda can.
So this is just another version of Skyrim that we have in our collection.
Yeah, special edition, all DLC, I believe, right?
Yep.
So that's more of a remaster of the PS3 360 version.
Yeah, and that's probably the one I first started playing.
And this was just kind of one of those I wanted to have for the Steelbook. So this is like a Walmart edition, a different type of Steelbook than I think we have a couple of the Fallout 76 Steelbooks. But we haven't played. I was very hopeful that we would play this as a family, actually, just online.
Shows 3 people on the cover.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we just never got around to it. I personally haven't even finished Fallout 4 yet.
Yeah.
It was a little bit harder for me to get into Fallout 4. And I think it was due to the building, the construction of wires and power lines, and I just couldn't get into it. So naturally, if I can get through 4, I might check this one out someday.
Well, don't get me started on 4 because my save data got corrupted and I had to start all over again.
That was, yeah.
Okay, next is this is the Steelbook for the Final Fantasy VII Remake, but we also, of course, have the regular version of it. And this is one of the best remakes I have ever played. Absolutely love this one. Yeah. I seriously just didn't expect to love it as much as I did because I haven't loved a lot of the recent Final Fantasy games, and I was expecting a little bit more of those ones, but they really did take Final Fantasy VII and just they kept what was essential about it and what was great about it and put it into new gameplay and new graphics, but also allowed you to play similarly to how you played in the old version. So seriously, this is one of the best, and I'm currently on Rebirth, I think the newer version on the PS5. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Love this game back on the GameCube. And so I was excited to see them do a remaster edition of this and be able to own it on the PS4. This is a Japanese version as well, but it's another one of those games where you can play it on your PS4 as well as choose English language.
It's the best part about this gen is they started doing region free. So
yep, that's so true.
I mean, this is probably, I should say, Ghost of Tsushima is probably the game on this console that I'm most excited to play. Everyone raves about this one, and I love the stealth games. I love the samurai lore, and yeah, I have to play this game. That's all I can say. I bought this a couple of years ago, and I know they remastered it on PS5 recently. So, but yeah, gotta play this one.
Next is God Eater 3. I don't really know anything about this game. We just got this one on a crazy sale from Bandai Namco when they do those sales. I think this was like $4.99, $9.99, something like that, but don't know anything about it.
All I have to say is, guys, check out Bandai Namco website. They have a lot of weird sales, a lot of really good sales.
Yeah,
like very often, actually.
Yeah, and crazy prices.
God of War. It's becoming the most talked about series that I have never played. Yeah, but you know, it's again, I wanted to have the so-called black label of this because I think the God of War games, they instantly get like the greatest hits, right? So this was one of the ones that we had to have for the collection, and I have to start from God of War 1. And then we also had to get God of War Ragnarok. We actually got this one recently, Black Friday this year.
Yep.
So it has a PS5 upgrade on it.
You have a lot of catching up to do with the God of War series.
Yep,
then.
I just have to retire from Xbox and then just fully devote time to God of War.
Grand Kingdom. This is a strategy RPG by Nipponichi. I don't know a lot about this one quite yet, but I would look forward to playing it. Harvest Moon, Light of Hope. Another series that we love to collect for, the Harvest Moon series. A Hat in Time. This is one that our son actually introduced to us because he was playing it, loving it on the PC, and he was like, you guys have to play this, but I'm not much of a PC gamer, so I bought this digitally on the Xbox, and then I saw that there was a physical for the PS4, and I had to order it.
So what you're saying, we own this on every platform?
Yeah, I guess so.
Except for Switch.
I guess so. Another recent addition due to a fan gamer sale that was this, I guess, this holiday season. And so we got Hollow Knight, and love this game. We both have played this one.
You convinced me to try it, and yes, it is a very good Metroidvania platformer.
For sure, I love it.
Horizon Zero Dawn, another one just like all the other ones that I have the pleasure of talking about. It's just more of the mainstream exclusive games. Again, another one that people really love. We unfortunately don't have the sequel on PS4, Forbidden West, but we had to have this one. I think I got, again, great Black Friday sale on this a few years ago. And Infamous Second Son, we now have all the Infamous games. Another series that I really want to play. I haven't played them yet, but I did buy this one from GameStop a long time ago, and I got like a good deal with, I think, another few games that we haven't talked about yet. But yeah, it was an exclusive that I wanted to have.
Here's the game that we both have played. And I think it was the game that we keep thinking of whenever we buy the Quantic Dream other games, basically. It's all due to this one.
This is true, yeah.
But I played it on the PS2.
I played it on PC, so, but, you know, again, they've been re-released, right? They have it on OG Xbox and PS4, so we had to have it on PS4 as well.
Yeah, this is a game that kind of definitely shocked me with the story and the gameplay. I had never played a game like this before.
I'll have to replay this one, and PS4 is probably a good place to play it.
Yeah, I would love to see it get played again. Here is another game that we got for our son because he is pretty big into anime. And this one just looked really cool. Some, you know, like a Super Smash Brothers type game, but with all these anime characters, you can recognize them. I mean, this has a ton of characters jammed into one game, so it was a cool find to get.
Killzone, of course. Killzone Shadowfall. This is the, to my knowledge, is the last Killzone that was made. And we have all the other Killzone games as well. So again, just like God of War, I'll devote my life to Killzone as well to catch up on all these games. But this one is a shooter that I'm very excited to play. Kingdom
Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 Remix. If you watched our PS2 video, you may have seen that I'm not a super big fan of the Kingdom Hearts series. However, I keep buying them. I think it has to do with the fact that, it is Square Enix and I like collecting for Square Enix. And as you have said, I'm just hoping that maybe one of the Kingdom Hearts games will finally strike that chord in me.
I mean, it does happen sometimes with games. I do that too. I like the idea of the game. I might not necessarily like the gameplay and what the game is about, but I'm guilty of that too. Collecting for series that I might not necessarily like that much.
Yeah. So I guess I'm just holding out hope on these games. The Last Guardian. This one is made by the people who made Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. However, this one, they took so much time to make this game that it kind of lost that traction that they had with those other games, and it fell a little bit flat. And we actually own the collector's edition with the statue of this one and everything. I still think this is a really great game. I think they did a great job with it. I think it's worthy to have in your collection and worthy to give it a shot. And it just has that Shadow of Colossus and Eco feel to it.
A really cool steelbook, yeah.
Yeah, I love the steelbook.
Last of Us Part 2. Again, another series that I would love to get into. Obviously, I have to start with the first one on PS3. But these games have been remastered, I think, on every console since the PS3. This one obviously came out on PS4. But yeah, people love these games too, of course. I don't have to tell you guys watching, if you're a PlayStation fan, then you know these games are great. And
Exactly.
we'll get to play them on PS3, PS4, and maybe even PS5.
Here was a weird one that you got one time.
Yeah, it's been on my wish list, I think, since it came out. And I don't know, I've just been waiting for it to not go on sale, but just, when do we need to add this one? Because it's a Square Enix game, just like you said, you like collecting for Square Enix. And yeah, this is Left Alive. I think it's just kind of like a mech shooter type thing. And always been super cheap. I think it was like $6, so we just picked it up. Who knows if we'll ever play it?
I love the Mana series, and Legend of Mana was the first one that I played. I know there's Secret of Mana on the SNES, which is obviously one that most people probably started with, but I started with Legend of Mana on the PS1, and I love this game. I'm actually playing this one right now on the Xbox because it's part of the Game Pass right now. So you can play this one on Game Pass, but still, because I love the games, wanted to have the physical version of it too, and we have it on the PS4. Little Big Planet 3. We pretty much own, I believe, all the Little Big Planets.
We're trying to, at least, even on PSP and
PS
yeah,
Vita.
PS3, PS
We
Vita.
may be missing one on the PSP or the PS Vita, but this is, a series that our son, again, he loved it because it's very creative. So I'm going to guess he played this one because it's open. So, yeah, probably one that he played.
That was it for shelf number 1, and let's move on to shelf number 2.
And we start with Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time.
Easily one of our favorite co-op games in this household.
Absolutely. Love this game so much. It is so much fun, and even more fun if you can play it with at least 3 people, I think.
Yeah, you can do up to 4. I don't know how this game plays if you do it solo. It cannot be a good experience.
Oh my gosh, I tried it, and it's not a great experience because you have to switch to the different characters.
Well, one player has to do guns, and the other one has to do shields, and then you have to drive,
Yep.
right? You have to
Yeah,
drive the spaceship thing.
Oh, and I think the other person would control the special weapon is what they would do.
Yep.
But that was fine. One of us just ran up to the special weapon and detonated it. So
But I'm very sad this developer, I think they shut down, and I don't think we'll see any more Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time games, and very
really
sad.
sad. I love the artwork. I love the gameplay. It's a really, really fun game. Next is a weird one, Mad Rat Dead. Okay, our cat had something to say about
Did
that
not
one.
like the Rat Dead.
So Mad Rat Dead. I think I just picked this one up because it is a Nipponichi title, and this one's kind of varied in price as well. I got it when it was a little bit cheaper, but I've seen it go up in price as well. So I don't know much about it. This one, we don't really know much about. Natural Doctrine. Interestingly enough, I noticed this, even though we bought this in the US, right? I mean, it still has this, I don't know, more like Japanese, Chinese characters. We have a different, I think that's like the region 3. But also, I thought this was interesting on the inside. We have Nipponichi on the disc, but however, we also have Sony. And I'm guessing, though, the actual developers are the Kadokawa Games. So, kind of an
What
interesting
does it say on
one.
the front again? So, official product.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if this might be, maybe it's like a Chinese version or like an Asian
Like an international,
version.
like the international
Yeah.
version that they
I
do
don't think
sometimes.
it's, it doesn't look like it's a Japanese one, but I could be
No,
wrong though.
I agree with you. This does look kind of like the international versions that we have of some of our other games. So yeah, kind of an interesting one. I didn't really catch it until we were about to do this video. So,
But again, it doesn't matter because it's region free. So unless the language is, you can't change it to English, then
since it's in English on the back cover, that tells me we're okay.
Yep.
Next is Neo, The World Ends With You. I don't know much about this one. I do believe it's more of a rhythm game by Square Enix. We actually do own the original version on the Nintendo DS. And so I think when I saw this on the PS4, I just wanted to add it to our collection. Very sought after on the DS. We have Nier Automata.
Automata?
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how to say it. I think it's maybe near Automata.
But we both played this on the Xbox.
We played it, yes, we did, when it was on Game Pass. But I wanted to have the original because this was a timed exclusive for the PS4. And surprisingly, again, harder to find this so-called black label than the greatest hits, and because we don't collect greatest hits. But very happy to have this one. And next we have Neo. This is also an exclusive. By Team Ninja. So all I know is just Ninja Gaiden and those games from the past, but I have not played this game. And then we also have Neo 2, of course, another exclusive, and I'm looking forward to playing these. Like I didn't just buy them just for looking good on the shelves. I really want to play these games.
Next we have No Man's Sky. I bought this when this one pretty much came out because I thought that this would be a really fun game to play, as well as one that our son would probably like because of the whole exploring the universe. However, when this game first came out, it didn't quite deliver up to all the promises that everybody was expecting. And I don't know what I was expecting, but it just wasn't quite the gameplay that I was thinking it was going to be and whatnot. However, I've heard that this has gotten way better with all the different patches and the DLC, and this game is still going strong. So I'm kind of happy that at least we have the original version.
Well, weren't they trying to over-promise a little bit?
Yeah.
And so their kind of advertisements and everything was very grandiose, but then they didn't quite deliver. But like you said, I think they did make
Now
up
they
for
have,
it
yeah.
eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now I think people really love this game. I believe them in them, though. I bought it when
Good.
it first came out.
The Order 1886. I don't care what you say. I really like this game. And I know there was a lot of hype for this game, and everyone expected Game of the Year, Game of the Century. And I know it's very short, but it is one of the few PS4 games that I have played from start to finish. I really enjoyed this game. I thought it was cool with the graphics were amazing, had the werewolves, and it is a third-person shooter. I thought the story was great. So I would recommend playing this game, and you should find this one for very cheap these days.
I really want to get the steelbook for this one because I think the steelbook looks really cool.
Yep, the whole collector's edition is pretty cool, actually.
Okami HD. I think we have a couple versions of this game physically, and now it's getting a whole new one. It just got announced at the recent Game Awards, I believe.
Yes, Okami 2, and we still need the Wii version, I think, of this game. And I just recently bought this on Xbox because it's on sale after the Game Awards, so that was a good timing. I've been waiting for it, but it's great to have it on the PS4 as well.
Yep. Great, colorful game. But it's been a long time since I played it. This was a weird addition to our collection because I think I just saw this at GameStop and I'd never seen it before. I'd never heard of it. It's not like it's super expensive though, but The Girl and the Robot Deluxe Edition, just one of those weird titles that came to PS4. Octopath Traveler 2. Funny enough, I have the first one on the Switch, but the Switch version was just not going on sale. So I wanted to get it for the PS4. So we have the first one on the Switch and the second version on the second one on the PS4.
Oh, interesting.
Our World is Ended. We have like a collector's edition for this one where it came with like a keychain and an art book. And I don't know much about this one besides I just really like the art style and the colorfulness of it, I guess. And so I wanted to have this one in the collection. Sometimes I just go off of art style.
Yeah, if you get a good deal, why not?
Yep, exactly. Overcooked Gourmet Edition. This is the first version that I played, but then we played together on the Xbox.
Yes, and it's the first game that we played together. And it's a very typical couples thing that you hear everywhere. It's like, play Overcooked, you see how strong your relationship is.
It's true though.
And it lasted, so it's good.
We looked all over Tokyo for this game.
Game hunt of a lifetime, I have to say. I think we found it at the very last book off that we checked in, was it Ikebukuro, I think? Yeah. And we just, you know, because we had to memorize what it looked like on the spine, because I think the spine is in Japanese.
Yep.
And then we knew that green frog. Yeah, we had obviously Parappa on the spine. So, but we just couldn't find it. But thankfully, eventually we did find it. So we brought it home. And I think you said that maybe this one wasn't released globally?
I think that's why we were hunting this one down, is because the physical version of this game did not come out in the US. And this is like the remaster of Parappa the Rapper. And this is probably one of our son's favorite games. And so we were trying to find, and all of the Parappa the Rapper games in the US are quite expensive. So we wanted to get whichever ones we could find in Japan, even if they aren't region free. But this one in particular, we really wanted to find because of it being region free. Persona 5. I know nothing about this game. Just kidding. I love the Persona series and may have figured that out if you have watched other videos of ours. Love the Persona series. I have been playing Persona since Persona 2 on the PS1, and this is no exception. So this is the first steelbook that came out for Persona 5, and then they did so well, they came out with another steelbook, and this is Persona 5 Royal, and has DLC on it, and I played both of them. And I've probably played them multiple times because I also played it on the Xbox to get the achievements.
I think you're a fan.
Yes,
I think so.
I completed it on the Xbox too. I was pretty happy.
Good.
We have another Persona game. We have Persona 5 Strikers. It is not a soccer game like you were mentioning earlier.
I was hoping so I can get into Persona soccer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Instead, this is more of a fighting game. I haven't tried these out yet, but still, since I love Persona, want to get all the Persona games I can. Poison Control. We picked this one up in New York and actually have some gameplay of it in our New York pickups video. But this one is by Nippon Ichi, and it's one that I've always wanted to have in our collection. But when I played it, it's quite a bit different than what I was expecting. So might not be a game that I go back to, but happy to have it in the collection.
It's the type of game you don't see very often in regular stores. We got this one at Book Off in New York.
Yep,
so.
That's true. And yeah, that's right. This one we saw in their documentary on YouTube?
Yeah, the YouTube documentary from Double Fine. And obviously, if you've seen it, you know they were working on this one kind of in tandem with Psychonauts 2. So I think after we watched the documentary, we didn't know this existed, and it finally came out, and then we picked it up.
Yep. Even though we don't have the VR headset for the PS4, we still wanted to have the game just have the Psychonauts games.
It tells you in the bottom right that you'll need these.
And we will not be able to play that anytime
We're
soon.
just collecting this one, I guess. But
guess
if we
so.
ever get the VR, then
That'd be
we
cool.
have. Yep.
Ratchet and Clank. This is the game series that our son liked a lot growing up, and so we have this one in the collection.
This one is Republique. It's similar to Left Alive. I had this on my wish list for the longest time. It's kind of a unique game. It's a stealth game, and if you have been watching some other videos that we made, I do like my stealth games. So this one is no exception, and this only came out on the PS4. I think Limited Run may have had a re-release of this one.
Oh, interesting. Here's another series that we feel like we cannot have enough of.
We are trying to get all the Resident Evil 4s, and the funny thing is, like, I recently, was it last Halloween that I finally finished my first playthrough of Resident Evil 4 after all these years, and I did like it. Obviously, I don't have that GameCube experience that most people did, but it is a very good game, and it is a natural, just like Skyrim and other re-releases, Borderlands, to get all of these. And I think we're only missing the PS2 at this point.
And I did play this one on the GameCube, and I remember thinking it was everything everybody says it was. And then we were like, hey, how about another Resident Evil 4?
Of course, the remake, and people say this one is incredible. And I'm very much looking forward to playing this one. I'll probably play it on the Xbox, but, can't hurt when it's so cheap on the PS4 just to have it as a collectible as well.
So this is kind of like my Final Fantasy VII remake.
And we didn't actually know until recently that this one was released on PS4 as well. Because on Xbox, it only came out on Series X.
That's right. Sackboy, A Big Adventure. We collect all of the Little Big Planet games, and this one is no exception. We actually just added this one to our collection recently because it finally went on sale this Black Friday.
It took many years. Yeah, you wanted this one for years, and we only got it just, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago.
I think I was holding out for getting the little plushie of the collector's edition with him wearing his little tiger outfit, but we just have this little guy, and I love him. So I love Sackboy, and I'm so glad that he gets his own big adventure.
Yes.
Sakura Wars. This is the game that I want to say this was on an earlier console, like Super Nintendo or maybe PS1. Maybe you guys know. You can say in the comments, but it was one that got really rare and very expensive, so I never got to play that. And so when I saw that this got a PS4 version of it, I just wanted to pick it up before this one possibly got expensive as well, and at least then I could give it a shot. Probably one of the greatest games we have in our collection.
Oh, yeah.
All original Santa's Christmas Adventure. All original story.
Very intense puzzle game.
Yeah.
And you're just shuffling pieces around, get Santa to the presents, of course.
So classic game to play during the holidays.
Yeah, not based on the movie Violent Night at all.
I wish. Sea of Stars. This is the I am a 8-bit edition of it, so it comes with this sleeve on it. It also does have a different cover on the actual game itself, but we're protecting it in all its glory with the sleeve on it. I love this game. Great game. Secret of Mana. We love I loved, I guess, the Mana series. You don't know much about the Mana series.
I don't know.
But like I said with Legend of Mana, I've played them on the PS1, and I have actually played it on the Super Nintendo as well. But super cool to have this physical version of it on the PS4. Shenmue 3.
Yeah, we sort of just had to have this one, right? Because we have the others. I should say we don't have the Dreamcast version of the OG Xbox Shenmue 2. But I ordered this from Best Buy, and I was expecting a steelbook, and it never showed up.
So
we just had the game, and I think you mentioned that you had played the first one.
I did play the first one back on the Dreamcast, and I was hoping for, I guess, a little bit more RPG because people were telling me RPG. But it's more of a kind of a little a fighter game as well. So it just wasn't really my style of an RPG, but I did play it, a little bit of it.
I feel like I've seen so much gameplay of this game, or not the third one, but all the games, that I feel like I played it. I don't know what it is, but yes, so much gameplay, but never played them.
It's a very famous game. Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. This is the HD remaster. We own the other version of this, the original, on the PS2. And love Nocturne, love these games. And just like Persona, I love the Shin Megami Tensei series as well. Spider-Man, Game of the Year edition.
Spider-Man by Insomniac, yes. I've always wanted to have this, always wanted to play it. And I decided to get the Game of the Year edition because it comes with all the DLC and, of course, exclusive to the PlayStation 4. And people love this game. I love Spider-Man, and I want to play this right now.
You should. We collect all the Star Oceans. So this is another Star Ocean for a collection, the Integrity and Faithlessness Square Enix game. And I'm glad we got the Day 1 edition, even though we did buy this one used. We got it for a good deal.
Street Fighter V, also exclusive to the PS4. I've talked about Street Fighter a couple of times on other videos, and it's sad to say I'm a little bit behind on these games, but I wanted to have this. There was a time that was actually harder to find, once again, the so-called Black Label. But we found a good deal for it, and we just added it to the collection, but have yet to dive into it. And now we have Street Fighter 6.
That's true. Tales of Berseria. Similar to your Street Fighter, I'm pretty behind in the Tales games. So I love the Tales series, and I've played several of their games, but this is one that I have not played yet, and I would look forward to.
Well, that's why people talk about their backlogs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the backlog is the problem.
And here's another Tales game, but this is the steelbook for Tales of Symphonia, the remaster version of it. We got this from Bandai Namco again during a crazy sale where they included this and the game here, Tales of Symphonia. And I love this one. I played this one on the GameCube. This is my favorite. I think this is many people's favorites, Tales of Symphonia game or Tales game. So definitely recommend those ones. The PS4 also got the Tales of Zestiria. I haven't played this one either. Like I said, I have a lot of catching up to do in the Tales game. Tearaway. This is from the people who make Little Big Planet. And I don't know if this is a unique game or if it's like the one, or if it's the same game that was on the PS Vita. And they just kind of did a different edition of it. But I wanted to have this one in the PS4 collection because, well, we collect a lot of the Little Big Planet games. And I'm curious to play this one. I actually have not tried the Tearaway games. Theat Rhythm Final Bar Line. I still never know if I'm saying this right, but
I think that was right. It's not Threat Rhythm.
I thought it was Threat Rhythm for the longest time. I don't know why I was putting an R in, but I did. But we bought this one recently because our son, again, is into a lot of rhythm games, and I wanted to show him some of the more famous ones that are out there, and this is one of those more famous ones. Been around for a while, I think since the Nintendo DS, and it's also pretty popular in the arcade. So fun to own this one at home on the PS4.
And then he was like, there were other games than Parappa the Rapper?
Yeah, exactly. Here's one that we both love.
Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. Hilarious game. Love this one.
Yes, I think this is a really great game. And I think anyone should, like, it appeals to almost anybody.
Yeah, it's a cute little indie game, but then just it has really funny dialogue. And it's kind of like it's not a Zelda type game, but it's trying to be a little action adventure, with dialogue, you meet characters and
action adventure, but it's like easy to just jump into. It's not, you don't need a tutorial. I mean, it's just like go and just complete tasks and adventures and read funny dialogue.
It takes like 2-3 hours maybe, and but we I think we both played it when it was on Game Pass, and then of course, because Xbox doesn't have as many physical releases as Nintendo and PlayStation, we had to have it on this one.
Yep.
Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. Again, another series that I've been dying to get into. Of course, exclusive to the PlayStation. I got this one Black Friday a few years ago. It's probably way longer than I think. This game has probably been out for like 10 years, I'm guessing. So maybe not
Really
that
that
long, but it's been out for a while, yeah. And then Uncharted The Lost Legacy. I think I got this one shortly after Uncharted 4. So this, you play as different characters, I think. And it's not a DLC. It's like a standalone release. But I had to have this one too. And I think both of these were remastered in like a double pack on PS5 recently.
Cool.
Until Dawn. Of course, another exclusive. Just like the Order 1886, one of the few games I played from start to finish. I got all the trophies, the platinum, and I think due to me playing this one, I was far more aware of the Dark Pictures anthology, which I also enjoy quite a bit, and the Quarry. So definitely, if you haven't played this one, this is good. It's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure horror game, and it's good.
And it recently got remastered, right? On
It
the
did,
PS5.
yeah. Like I think pretty much every PS4 exclusive has been remastered for PS5. But
if
this
they
one's
were popular enough.
Yes, but this one's good. I really enjoyed it.
The last game in our PS4 collection is Untitled Goose Game.
Another really fun indie game that we played together. I think you played it before me. Mm-hmm. You really liked it. I played it and I didn't really like it. And then we did it in co-op. I loved it. I thought it was just so much better. And it kind of lent itself for more, because you can classify this as a stealth game. It's sort of puzzle stealth. And then you have to kind of do the distractions and then complete the tasks. And I think this one is really fun.
I think this one surprised me as well because I did play through it on my own, but playing it again in co-op, yeah, I completely agree. That's the way to go with this game.
And this got a lot of attention. I think we watched a little documentary about this, right? Where a lot of celebrities were playing this game and they gave it a lot of publicity that the developer actually didn't have to pay for. There's a lot of celebs that promoted this game. So it got very famous overnight in a sense. But yeah, well deserved. It's a really fun, silly game.
I can't wait to see what they do next. Or actually, I know they have a game out, I think, recently. But I want to see Untitled Goose Game 2. Let's do a second one.
Let's do it. All right, that was our entire ever-growing PlayStation 4 collection. I know it was probably on the longer side, but thanks for sticking with us through this one.
I didn't think it was going to be this long because not long ago, I felt like our PS4 collection was just one shelf or barely a shelf.
Yeah, because we've been focusing on Xbox for the most part, but this is a fantastic console. Everyone loves playing it. Everyone loves collecting for it right now, and this is definitely one that has a huge library as well.
Yeah, and I think going through all these games reminded me why we've started collecting for it because of so many exclusives, or like we've talked about, some games didn't get that physical edition on the Xbox, but we were able to pay that like tribute to our favorites and get that physical version on the PS4. And I love that. So I do love collecting for the PS4. It's one of our favorite consoles to collect for.
And as we say our final goodbyes to Kratos, if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. We also have a ton of other game collecting videos that we're going to put on the screen right now.
We have many more shelf videos planned for the future. So if you'd be interested in seeing more of our collection, please subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye!